Hi, welcome back to my channel, Scale Model Kit Review. Reach down there and hit the subscribe button while you're here, and also smash that like button. I am currently working on the FanHome Build Enterprise D, pack number 8, stages 27 through 30. If you haven't done so already, head over to FanHome and subscribe to this today. Without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review, and welcome back to another installment of the FanHome Star Trek The Next Generation build, the U.S.S Enterprise D. I am working on Pack 8 and Issue 8. I'd like to give a shout out first off to RT Ralph, or Retro Trek Ralph, for giving me lots of tips and pointers on this build, and I really appreciate his help. He's one of the only other builders out there who has reached out to me and given me and offered me some help. So I really appreciate that, Ralph. I really appreciate that. So let's move on with this. This magazine is fantastic. It gives us all the season episode guides contained within it. So let's look at those in the magazine, and we'll skip over the build instructions. We're going to do those as we go along in this video. Where Silence Has Lease, Episode 2, Season 2. Episode 2, Season 3, Elementary Dear Data. Nice article here about Daniel Davis. He was actually born in Arkansas, but he has a wonderful British accent that he created. Season 2, Episode 4, The Outrageous Okona. Season 2, Episode 5, Loud as a Whisper. Season 2, Episode 6, The Schizoid Man. Season 2, Episode 7, The Unnatural Selection. And the last one here, Season 2, Episode 8, A Matter of Honor. So if any of these these are your favorites, put in the comments below why they were your favorite. So let's go ahead and look at the parts that came in this pack. Stage 27, some more windows. Stage 28, again, some more windows. We work on the battle bridge and the Cobra neck sections here. Stage 29, more saucer windows. And stage 30, more of the Cobra neck windows and some saucer windows. There you go. I also received a free gift, and that would be this coffee mug here. It's wonderfully wrapped. And the free gifts can vary depending on your subscription, so head over to FanHome and check out what free gifts you'll receive when you signed up for this build. So this is a wonderful pewter mug. Very nice. Wow. Galaxy Class Starship Development Project. Very nice. Let's get started with this build. Let's begin issue 8 with stage 27 parts. You can see there's the deck panel and the battle section floor there. Some screws. We received another screwdriver, a 3mm screwdriver. And there's a list of the parts. Here's the assembly guide. And I'll assemble another deck panel with the windows and such. We'll get that installed on the back side temporarily. Plug in a couple of the LED lights. Screw everything down there as needed, and then we'll do a light test. Then we'll work on the battle section, cobra neck, put the floor in, and we'll position the LEDs into the corners there. Here's the parts for 27. Let's get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. Here's another deck panel, and this is made of metal. Very nice. Here's the battle section floor, which is also made of metal. The 3mm screwdriver. Clear and black windows, BM screws, the pod covers, and lastly, another set of LED lights. For the first deck panel in this stage, I put in all the clear windows and the black windows, and here's the pod covers, the escape pod covers. Remember that the little red dot goes towards the outside of the saucer, facing down, so that's how that looks there. Now before I mount this to the saucer section, I want to go ahead and route my LED wires first, because they'll get mounted first and then this will get mounted up against those. Here's our LED we received in this stage, and you'll note that there's a yellow and black and blue and red LED. So the blue and red is actually going to go on the inside right here, and the yellow and black is going to go on the outside. But we have to route them through the panel here, just like that. So I push it through that panel, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this over and insert the lights on the other side. Here's the blue and red. It goes on the inner panel. I'm going to put a little Scotch tape on that, in case it needs to be pulled out later. I can pull it out. And the yellow and black go right beside it over here. And some Scotch tape goes on that LED to hold it in. And it should be easily removable if it needs to be. Now we'll go ahead and turn it back over. We're going to mount our panel on it. We'll go in from underneath. And we're going to put a screw in right here. And our BM screw goes into this. And that should hold it in place for now. The instructions say to route the yellow wire under that brace and back over the top to go over the top with the red one here. But both of them going over the top is fine. I don't think there's any issue with that. Now I'm going to put BM screws into this right here, right there, and right there. And the last BM screws going in. I did put 3-in-1 oil on it. That's good there. So all the BM screws are in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we'll put in the EM screws, 4 of them right here. The EM screws have a flange. And all 4 EM screws are in. Now we'll go ahead and turn this over and we'll do a light check. Go ahead and plug this into our battery box to see how the lights work. And they look great. And I brought over the battle section. We'll go ahead and install the floor here on the other side. Metal part of the floor here. And we're going to chase that through these two large lugs. And it's going to mount down right on top here. We're going to put 5 BM screws into that. And the first one. Once again, 3-in-1 oil on it. And all 5 screws are installed. Just make sure they are all tight. Using 3-in-1 oil definitely helps. The next step is we have to mount our LED lights into the corners here. I'll give you a closer view. The instructions show the LED lying flat in that little recess there in the corner, but it will not lay flat. So I mounted them sideways. Used a little bit of super glue on them. Show you the other side. And there's the other side. And that's all we do with this stage. That's all I do with stage 27. So let's head over and do stage 28. Stage 28 parts right here. And this is a new panel we haven't seen before. It's called the left ventral neck panel. This stage I'll add another section to the upper saucer assembly. And we'll look at the key parts of the battle section. Put the windows in. Put some screws on it. Do a real quick light check. Mount that up to the structure. Route our wiring a certain way. And we'll hold on to the ventral neck panel till a little bit later. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 28. Let's get a closer look. Here's the parts. We have BM screws, DM screws. Here's that ventral neck panel. It is made of plastic. Very nice there. Another deck panel, which is made of metal. And again, escape pod covers, windows, and another set of LEDs. It's actually one pair, or one set, gray and red wire. And the next deck panel, all the windows are installed along with the pod covers, escape pod covers. Remember that the little red line goes down towards this end. And I went ahead and I installed the reflector LED on here first. And I used the Scotch tape for this. And that's going to go down right on top and hold everything in place. DM screws go into this. And the last one. Should be good there. That's how that looks. We'll go ahead and do a light test on this real quick. Looks good. Now we'll go ahead and install this on the saucer structure. Before this goes on the saucer section, we have to take our wires, we have to bend them over. Now they're very pliable, and it's going to bend over all the way. So this is going to mount on this structure just like that. It's going to go underneath the bar. Okay, here's our wire. We're going to take our wire and following the instructions is actually going to go insert in between these two channels here, and this is going to slide underneath. Just like that. We're going to secure it on the back side with some screws. Okay, you can see the panel's installed, and here's our LED that we put in, and that's how it should run. We're going to put 2 BM screws in right here. Just a little bit of 3-in-1 oil also, and secure it down. There's one. Tight there. Check the other one. And that's tight. That's how that looks there. Go ahead and turn this over to see how it looks. Looks great. Panel installed. That's all we do with stage 28. Let's head over and do stage 29. I'm really enjoying this a lot. Now let's work on stage 29. Once again, another deck panel. Here's all the parts. Got some more LEDs with this stage. We have the docking alignment light. Another deck panel is assembled with the windows and escape pod covers. Do a light check on that. Now we're going to work on that left ventral neck panel. Put some lights on it. That's what it will look like. How we'll route our lights, our wiring through for the LEDs. And you just have to kind of follow along with what I do here. We'll install those screws. Make sure our switch is positioned the way it needs to be. Let me get the parts. I'll be right back. Parts for stage 29. Let's get a closer look. Here's some of the parts. Here's the next deck panel we're going to assemble. This is made of plastic. Very nice. The reflector for it. Of course, our windows once again. 2 of the clear, 1 of the black, and escape pod hatches covers. Ventral panel, which is a reflector also. And some of the black tape. AP screws, BP screws, BM screws. We have a shorter set of LED wires here. I have a real long one. You can see that. And 2 that are kind of the same length. They're exactly the same actually. And this little part here, let me give you a closer look at it. It's a little clear piece. And that's the docking alignment light. And to begin, I put on the escape pod covers. The little red dash goes on the bottom this direction. And we're going to put the tape over the top of those. Just like that. And I'm going to support the panel on the back side with this sanding stick and put the windows in. And all the windows are in. Now we'll take our reflector, and that's this right here. I already taped down the yellow and white wire on the right side here. And we're going to insert this on top to hold all the windows in. So this has to be done carefully. I got to pick it up. There we go. Three BP screws go into that. First one. Should be good there. Flip this over. And that's how that all looks there. Looks great. Now they want us to do a light test on this. Next, bring over the left ventral neck panel, and that's this right here. I'm going to turn that over, and we're going to put this light panel on top here. And you can see it inserts on top just like that. Our LEDs are going to get inserted right here and right there. Okay, so before we put the screws in, we want to keep the panel loose. And the red and black go over here. And the gold, or the yellow and green, go right there. Just like that. And we'll put our two screws into that. AP screws. And the first one. And the next one. Perfect. That's what that looks like. And that's what it looks like there. Now let's bring over the battle section neck, cobra neck. Here this is right here. We're going to put some LEDs into this. We're going to plug them in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug in the two new sets of LEDs we received with this stage, and these are exactly the same. You can see there's yellow, black, blue, and red wiring. So I'll show you where they go on the board. This is the front side of the board right here, and they're going to plug in side by side into these two terminals right here. I'll do the first one, the one on the outer side. I'll do that one first. Okay, routing these correctly, we need to put this through here and run it down, and it will come out right there. And we'll plug it in, put it on that outer terminal, just like that. The next wire goes through this and out there. We'll plug it in right beside it. Unplug this just to get it out of the way for a second. Gonna plug this one in. Perfect. That's how that looks there. Then we'll put the other one back in. That's how that looks. And both the LEDs are there. I'm going to install this next, but first I need to put in the docking light. And the docking light is what I showed you earlier. Now there is a side that is sloped, which happens to be this side here on top. And you can see that slope right on top here. And it needs to match the slope on the other. That looks to be it right there. I will put the panel down on top of that. Here's the panel, so we need to hook up the LED lights to it here. And this light's going to plug into that terminal. And it's plugged in. Now we go ahead and tuck everything inside. Make sure everything lines up. We'll put our AP screws into this. And 2 AP screws, one right there, right there. And the BM screws go into here. Be 3 spots together for the BMs. And these 2 right here. And the last one. It's good there. Test the lights. Looks great. Go ahead and test the lights again. Again, test the lights. And a little bit later I can do some light blocking where it needs to be blocked after we're done fully assembling this, but it looks great. So that's all I do with stage 29. Let's head over and do the final stage for this pack, issue 8, stage 30. Here's stage 30 parts. Once again, another deck panel will be assembled, LED light, and the left neck panel. So stage 30 is just a one-pager here. We're going to assemble the panel, put all the lights in and such, put the screws in and do a test. Let me get the parts, I'll be right back. Here's the parts for 30. Let's get a closer look. Here's those parts, BP screws. Here's the left neck panel. It is made of plastic. Another deck panel, which is also made of plastic. The reflector for it, and all the windows. And finally, a set of LED lights. Here's the deck panel, all windowed up. And here's the reflector. I installed the LED on the right side, the yellow and white LED. I put some Scotch tape to hold it in place, and carefully gonna insert this down on top. There we go. And 3 BP screws go into this. Here's one, and the last one. That's how that looks there. Turn it over, and all the windows are in place. Let's do a light test. That's good there. That one works too. And that completes stage 30. Pretty easy stage. We have a lot of extra parts. We're going to be installing, I'm sure, in the next issue, issue number 9. So stay tuned for that. I will be right back. And there you go. That was issue 8 completed. 4 more stages are in the books here. and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm the kind of person that likes to really use my mind to figure out how things work and how they go together. Something as simple as a 3D puzzle or a 3D kit or anything like that really gets my mind going, and that's what this kit does for me. There's a lot of thinking to do here, lots of things to consider with the wiring and the LEDs and all that. It makes it fun to build, so I'm really having a blast building this. If you haven't already signed up for this through FanHome, I suggest you do so. Head over to FanHome and see if it's available, and if it is, sign up today. Anyway, if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash that like button. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.